Hello guys, Scion Recap is here. In today's video, I am going to explain to you adventure, dark, fantasy, supernatural, anime called Jujutsu Kaisen. Spoiler ahead and watch out and take care. At the beginning of the anime, a boy is shown who is the main character of the anime. He is imprisoned in a certain place, and another boy informs him that he is Gojo Satoru, in charge of the first year at Jujutsu Tech. Then, the boy asks about Fushiguro, and Gojo refers to him as Itadori Yuji. Gojo advises him he doesn't have time worrying about others, as he will be killed shortly. Then, the story shows events from a little while ago. Itadori calls the hospital to inquire about his grandfather and plans to meet him tomorrow evening. Another boy is searching for a cursed object, but despite extensive searching, he doesn't find anything there. He shares this information with someone over the phone as well. In the research club, Itadori and his two friends, Iguchi and Sasaki, are playing a ghost game. Just then, the council president arrives and tells them to shut down the club since they are not engaged in any meaningful activities. However, they start providing evidence of their research, showing that there is some supernatural power affecting the students. Despite their efforts, the president dismisses their claims, attributing the students' ailments to tics. On the other side, a Jujutsu Tech student is searching for a cursed object, and he witnesses Yuji winning a shot put contest. This leaves a strong impression on him. Afterward, he talks to Itadori, and as he's speaking, Itadori suddenly rushes towards the hospital to see his grandfather. Megumi senses a cursed object within Itadori, so he starts following him. Itadori then heads to see his grandfather, but unfortunately, his grandfather passes away. Before his death, his grandfather leaves a message for Itadori, urging him to help the weak no matter what happens. After this, Itadori begins to sense some strange sensations. During this time, he encounters Megumi, who explains his own situation to Itadori and discusses curses. Megumi asks Itadori for the cursed object, but upon finding an empty box, he inquires about the cursed object. Itadori informs him that some of his friends will remove the talismans from the object at school today. Megumi remarks that this is quite bad, and now his friends will die. At the school, Sasaki and Iguchi remove the talismans from the cursed object, causing the atmosphere to grow dark, and curses begin to appear. Afterwards, Itadori and Megumi arrive at the school. Here, Megumi instructs Itadori to stay put while he goes ahead. Inside the school, Sasaki manages to avoid the curses, but Iguchi gets caught by one. Megumi enters the building and summons divine dogs. However, upon entering, he notices that both of Yuji's friends are in the grip of curses. Just then, Yuji arrives and saves both of them. He also manages to obtain the cursed object. Megumi explains that this is a special grade cursed object, which is one of Ryaman Sukuna's fingers. He warns Yuji not to consume it under any circumstances, as it would introduce powerful cursed energy into his body, making him extremely dangerous. But just then, another curse arrives and throws Megumi away. It attempts to devour Yuji, but Yuji uses the finger he had swallowed to fight back. Megumi initially objects to this action, but it's already been a while. At that moment, Sukuna's soul inside Yuji instantly obliterates the curse into pieces. Sukuna finds this era quite enjoyable because he can kill as many children and women as he wants. However, Yuji manages to regain control and demands that Sukuna return his body. Yuji returns to his normal state. Megumi informs him that he's no longer just a human and will have to come within the framework of Jujutsu regulation. After a while, Gojo arrives on the scene. He tells Yuji to awaken Sukuna so that he can witness how Yuji controls Sukuna. However, Sukuna ends up losing against Gojo. Yuji manages to regain control over his body again. After this, Gojo renders Yuji unconscious. Megumi is aware that Yuji is now on the verge of being terminated. He pleads for this not to be done. Then, the scene from the beginning is shown. Here, Yuji is imprisoned, and Gojo informs him that the higher-ups have decreed his termination. However, Gojo has intervened to stop this from happening because Yuji holds the potential to become Sukuna's vessel. Since destroying all of Sukuna's fingers is not feasible, Yuji has the option to consume all 20 fingers. Now, the choice lies with Yuji whether he wants to die now or after consuming the 20 fingers. After that, Yuji goes to meet his friends Iguchi and Sasaki. Iguchi is in a bad condition. Gojo and Itadori decide to meet outside the hospital. Yuji collects his grandfather's remains. Then, Gojo instructs Yuji to consume Sukuna's second finger so they can observe how his body reacts. Yuji consumes the finger, experiencing a bit of difficulty in the process. However, Sukuna becomes overpowering within Yuji, showcasing immense strength. Even Gojo realizes that Yuji indeed possesses great potential. After that, Gojo and Yuji travel to the mountains of Tokyo and reach the Tokyo Metropolitan Jujutsu Technical School. Before Yuji can join the school, he needs to interview the school's principal. There's a risk of death in this interview process. Both of them eventually reach the principal's office. The principal's name is Masamichi Yaga, who is creating puppets. He asks Yuji why he wants to join Jujutsu Tech. Yuji responds that he wants to help those who have a desire to die. However, Yaga rejects Yuji because he wants to fight for someone else's desire rather than his own. Afterward, Yaga instructs the cursed corpse to attack Yuji in an attempt to make him change his decision. The cursed corpse continues to attack Yuji, but when it attacks him again, Yuji manages to defend against the attack. Yaga then questions Yuji once more about why he wants to join Jujutsu Tech. Yuji responds that he wants to join to prevent Sukuna's resurgence and ensure that no one regrets not stopping him. Upon hearing this answer, the principal becomes impressed and accepts Yuji. After that, Gojo shows Yuji his room and tells him that he can wait there while Gojo and Megumi search for Sukuna's fingers. Yuji finds it amusing and remarks that it might seem a bit funny for him to rest all day while Megumi risks his life searching for Sukuna's fingers. Gojo asks if Yuji is implying that he doesn't want to fight as well. Yuji questions if Gojo is testing him, to which Gojo explains that the situation isn't as simple as Yuji thinks. Some objects might have absorbed curses, and the real challenge is how to locate and retrieve all the scattered fingers. For this, Sukuna will help you, as he himself wants to be complete by absorbing his fingers. You are both a vessel and a locator. You can absorb the fingers and also locate them. Later, we are shown outside Megumi's room, and a girl named Nobara Kujisaki is also introduced. She left her hometown to join Jujutsu Tech. Gojo informs Megumi and Yuji that they are going to pick up the third first-year student. Then, Yuji and Megumi meet Nobara for the first time at the train station in Haryuku. Afterward, Gojo sends Yuji and Nobara on a mission where they have to eliminate all the curses inside an abandoned building. Nobara takes off without waiting for Yuji and heads inside. Yuji begins to fight the curses, using the knife that Gojo had given him. In reality, this is a test for both of them. Megumi also wishes to join, but this test is specifically for Nobara. Later, Nobara encounters a curse that is quite intelligent and uses a child as bait. In order to save the child, Nobara surrenders and drops her weapons. Just then, Yuji breaks through the wall and arrives on the scene. This gives Nobara the opportunity to save the child, and Yuji successfully manages to cut a part of the curse. Nobara utilizes her nail and hammer, along with her straw doll technique, to target the curse's part and eliminate it. With this, she passes the test. Nobara then tells Yuji that she used to have a friend named Saori who was taken away because she was from Tokyo. That's why Nobara joined Jujutsu Tech, so she could be with her own people again. After exchanging a few questions, Nobara expresses her gratitude to Yuji for saving her. Later, a powerful curse named Womb suddenly appears in the West Tokyo City. Since Satoru Gojo is not present there, Kiyotaka Ajichi, one of Gojo's colleagues, sends Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara on a mission to deal with the situation. It's the first time that Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara go on a mission together. When they arrive at the location, they discover that the curse has already eliminated everyone. Yuji wants to take the body of a boy outside, as his mother outside the building is inquiring about him. However, Megumi advises against it, as he believes that trying to save someone who is already dead is futile. This leads to a disagreement and argument between Yuji and Megumi. Suddenly, Nobara disappears from the scene. Megumi wonders why the white divine dog didn't sense the danger, but he later realizes that the divine dog has been killed. Megumi instructs Yuji to run, but a cursed spirit blocks their path, preventing them from escaping. Both of them are frightened when they see the cursed spirit in front of them. Yuji attempts to attack the spirit with his knife, but in doing so, his left hand gets cut off. On the other side, Nobara finds herself trapped among numerous curse masks. Yuji contemplates stopping the curse alone, while Megumi goes to rescue Nobara. Yuji suggests to Nobara that they should both leave and signal him by howling at the black divine dog. This would be his cue to switch with Sukuna. As soon as the switch occurs, Sukuna quickly defeats the special curse spirit and removes a finger from himself. Yuji then instructs Sukuna to switch back, but he doesn't receive any response from Yuji's end. Sukuna realizes that this is his chance. Afterward, he directly approaches Megumi. He states that he's in a good mood today, so he intends to have a chat before killing Megumi. Sukuna then removes Yuji's heart from his chest and throws it away, ensuring Yuji cannot switch back. If Yuji attempts to do so, he will die, and Sukuna doesn't need Yuji's heart to survive. Sukuna proceeds to consume the finger and prepares to kill Megumi. However, when faced with Sukuna, Megumi finds himself unable to make a significant move. Nonetheless, Sukuna recognizes Megumi's potential and becomes impressed. He questions why Megumi even bothered trying to escape when it seems like he's wasting his talents. Megumi then explains that he wants to save Yuji to avoid witnessing the death of a good person. He delivers an emotional speech that resonates with Yuji, causing him to regain control over his body. Sukuna remarks that Yuji must be regretting saving him, but Megumi asserts that he has never regretted saving Yuji. Yuji, lying on the ground, responds with a wish for his friend to live a long life. On the other side, Gojo meets with Ajichi at the Jujutsu Tech School's morgue. He reveals that it was the plan of the higher-ups to send Sukuna's vessel on such a dangerous mission during his absence, hoping to eliminate Sukuna's vessel. If that's the case, Gojo states that he will kill all of the higher-ups. After a while, Dr. Shoko Yuri arrives at the scene. She requests permission to examine Yuji's body. On the other side, Nobara and Megumi become saddened, comforting themselves by reminiscing about their long-lasting friendship. However, they are unable to conceal their pain. Afterward, second-year students Maki Zenin, Toji Numaki, and Panda arrive. Megumi asks about Yudo Katsu, but it turns out that he is studying overseas. After that, Panda informs them about the Kyoto Sister School Exchange event, where students from two different schools will engage in battles against each other. Both Nobara and Megumi agree to participate. Meanwhile, on another front, a meeting is taking place between Sorcerer Geto and Cursed Spirits. One cursed spirit expresses its desire to attain a position that is currently held by humans. To achieve this, it plans to defeat Gojo and befriend Sukuna. Sorcerer Geto still believes that Yuji's death has not occurred. Later, Sukuna and Yuji are shown having a discussion and argument. Yuji believes that after death, he is facing punishment in the afterlife for becoming Sukuna's vessel. He perceives it as a consequence of Sukuna's actions. Sukuna contradicts this, stating that it's all happening in Sukuna's mind. Sukuna proposes two conditions for fixing Yuji's heart. First, Yuji has to lend him his body for 1 minute. Second, Yuji has to forget all the interactions that have happened between them. Sukuna assures Yuji that he won't harm anyone during that 1 minute. Yuji remains skeptical, but Sukuna tries to convince him that he won't hurt anyone. However, Yuji refuses to agree and insists that he'll give his body to Sukuna without any conditions. This leads to Yuji throwing a punch at Sukuna. As Shoko is about to perform the execution on Yuji's body, Yuji suddenly comes back to life, and Gojo is relieved. Gojo instructs Shoko to report that Yuji is dead to prevent any further attempts on his life. Gojo then plans to give Yuji private training for the upcoming Goodwill event. Since Yuji struggles with controlling his curse energy due to his emotions, Gojo advises him to watch movies as a way to control his emotions. On the other side, Megumi, Nobara, Maki, Toge, and Panda are undergoing training. Megumi visits a victim's mother to apologize for not being able to save her, and he also places a name tag on the victim's picture. During Gojo's training session, Yuji is shown watching movies to learn emotional control. When he gets distracted, the curse dolls that Gojo uses for training attack him. Gojo emphasizes the importance of controlling negative emotions to prevent wasting curse energy. In the school, Megumi contemplates Sukuna's words, wondering if he truly possesses such power. Nobara has obtained a new track suit. Later, Ichichi is about to take Gojo to the Kyoto school, but Gojo senses a disturbance and decides to get out of the car. He instructs Ichichi to go alone. Okay guys, this is the end of the video. Hope you like that anime recapped story. Please like this and subscribe our channel for more. It only takes 1 second, but that's lots for me. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.